So my name is Jade Verbeek. I'm one of the senior lecturers at the University of Pretoria in South Africa, specifically within the Marketing Management Department, which sits within our Economic and Management Sciences field.
I am Antoinette Tessmer. I am a finance professor in the Business College at Michigan State University. We met the first time on the first training day, I believe.
I think we kind of had known before that we would be pairing up with one another, but the first time we actually conversed was at that fellowship, that first meeting, yes.
We met via Zoom pretty often, actually.
In the beginning, we had quite a lot of Zooms to first understand a little bit about each other's fields, and I think then just sparked everything from there. We come from similar fields in the sense that we both kind of lie within, I want to say, the broader economic management or kind of the business field. Of course, our students at the University of Pretoria were mostly marketing students, and Antoinette's students was business finance students. Obviously, we needed to find something that was a common ground for both of our students. And Antoinette kind of suggested URAF that happens at MSU once a year, where her students basically do some research into sustainable investments. And then the question to me was, how can my students or our students basically assist and come alongside and work with her students? And we kind of use the business finance students who are very much finance driven, data driven, and then we kind of pair them with our students to help them communicate the research that they would have done on sustainable investments. And that kind of was the foundation, I would say, of our COIL project.
Our two groups were different, very similar, like Jade mentions, close, similar topics of studies, but very different in many other ways. Even though the research project was focusing on sustainable investment, the students on the MSU side had no background in finance or sustainable investments. So they were far from being the experts in the topic, but they acquired that expertise along with their research project. Each group's expertise was very well used in the project. I don't think that one group felt that they had no role to play or their role was less valuable as the other group's role. And I think that makes the COIL also stronger and richer.
As much as it was learning for our students, I think there was learning for me too. Being at my first COIL project that I was involved in, it was a little bit intimidating. Working with someone such as Antoinette, such as yourself, who has had experience, I think it made this process a lot easier. I think there's so much richness that comes from an experience like this, especially for our students, as you know, things like global awareness, intercultural sort of learnings from one another. So I'm definitely positive and hopeful and excited to work on a project like this again in the future.
It's really, I would say, flavored by the instructors' collaboration. That the instructor collaboration and the understanding between the two instructors really trickles down through the whole project. And that makes COIL every time a different experience. Your contribution to the project made it quite different from my previous experiences. COIL keeps you on your toes, whether you have experience with COIL or not. But each COIL, in my experience, gives me even more enthusiasm to start the next one. I see COIL as the center of global learning.
It's made interdisciplinary and intercultural and learning so much easier through programs like COIL or having these kinds of initiatives. I think it opens up a world in terms of global learning that I think was never possible before.
The topic that our students chatted about, sustainable investing, sustainability, it's a global problem. And when we talk about sustainability in the classroom, it remains always, I think, in the student point of view, very local or out of their reach. Even though the topic is well known on both sides, it is discussed and approached in a different manner because it's very much cultural, political, and influenced by local situations.
And I think also just again, I don't want to say benchmark, but allowing South African and the US students to work together on a topic that is globally recognized. As you said, often it's very much localized in what's happening in our country, what's happening within our specific cultural context, but now having conversations with students across the waters and saying, well, actually, this is a global phenomenon and this is how different countries are dealing with it from different cultural perspectives.
There is nothing like COIL, for sure.